Hi, everyone. We are going to begin our name tile that's based on the Islamic tiles that you see in the mosques. And I'm going to be giving you a piece of square paper. So at home, if you don't have a square paper, you're going to have to make it a square. If you have an 8 by 10 sheet of paper, I would take a ruler, and when you get to the side that the 10 inches is on, you're gonna make that 8 inches instead, okay? And then cut off the extra because you do need a square piece of paper for that, and I can help you out. If you're in class, you'll already have the square paper. What I did was I held it into a diamond form and I folded it in half to make a triangle. Then I folded it in half again. Now I have a smaller triangle. Without opening it up, you're going to fold it in half one more time. So you're going to fold it into 3 triangles. When you open it up, you're going to have 8 sections of triangles. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to pick one of the triangles, and you're going to write either your first or your last name in there. If your name is Kenneth, for instance, either use Kenneth or Kenny. Don't use Ken because 3 letters is going to be too little. So if your name only has 4 letters in it, you might want to do your 4-letter first name and then maybe the first initial of your last name. Now, I'm going to pick this triangle right here, and I am going to draw. I'm going to make Carlos the first name, even though my first name isn't really Carlos. So I'm going to draw a capital C, but it's going to be a little smaller because it's in the corner here. Then I'm going to make a bigger A. Notice how I'm not touching the triangle or the edge. Okay, I'm leaving a little bit of space. Now I'm going to make the R really big. So the R and the L in Carlos are going to be the biggest because they're in the middle of the name, and in the middle of the triangle here, it gets big. So see how I'm kind of squeezing in the name? Now the O is going to be smaller, and then the S will be about as big as the C was. Okay? So notice how I'm not touching the edges of the triangle. I want you to leave space there. Then after you're done, you're going to outline your letters to make them block or bubble letters. Now, for me to save time, I'm going to put Sharpie on here when I do the block or bubble letters. I want you to work in pencil, though. Let me make sure this isn't going through onto my kitchen table. Okay, good. So here is my bubble O. Here's my bubble S, or my block letter S. Right here, I'm going to do the same thing with the R. And here's the A. And here's the C. Okay, so I have these in block letters. I'm going to erase inside some of these letters and get rid of the pencil lines that I don't need. Okay. Then, if you're in class, I'm going to be able to give you a piece of tracing paper. If you don't have tracing paper at home, since you outlined this with Sharpie already, I want you to take another piece of paper and put this on top, okay? And it doesn't matter where you put this piece of paper, okay? I am going to now trace what I drew here. So I'm going to trace what I drew using this new white piece of paper, because see how I can see through the name that I outlined with the black marker? Okay, now That's done. Now, I'm going to turn this sheet over. Okay? And what I have to do is I have to make a carbon, which means put pencil on both sides of where this name originally was. I'm going to be using this carbon piece to trace the name in those other 7 triangles that were on the original paper. So this is going to be your carbon sheet. Now I'm wondering if this is going to go through onto my kitchen table when I lift this up. If not, I'll have to scrub it with Comet. So let's see if this worked. So the pencil has to be on both sides of your carbon sheet. Oh, it worked. Showed up on my table. Okay, so that is what we're going to use next week when we start lining these up, and we're going to start tracing it and flip-flopping it and making your name on these 7 triangles. Okay, little confusing, but we're going to take it step by step. We'll talk more next week.